Money Day, ladies and gentlemen. You're here with Pastor Pips, and I am bringing you this week's market outlook. Now, of course, guys, don't forget to check out www.litcapital.co.uk, and also don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. Now, let's move on, as we always do. First things first is always check out the economic calendar ahead of the week. Now, if I do have a quick scroll through, quick browse, it is going to be quite the heavy week across all pairs, really. Now, Monday, we do have some PMI for the euro and the pound coming in at 830 for the euro and 930 for the pound. Composite manufacturing and services PMI for the pound. So big high impact news there on Monday. Tuesday, a little bit more quiet. We do have consumer confidence for the dollar and business climate index for the euro. Wednesday, we have CPI for the Australian dollar, GDP for the yen. Of course, we'll just have to see how, when the date when that information comes out is decided. However, it is planned for Wednesday. Moving on, we do have new home sales for the dollar, monetary policy report, and also interest rate for the CAD. So huge news there for my CAD traders. Lastly, we have crude oil inventories for the dollar, as we do usually on a Wednesday. Thursday, we do have, of course, ECB interest rate, huge monetary policy. And of course, Lagarde speaking later on during the day. Well, at the same time, shall I say, we do have initial jobless claims for the dollar and also GDP. So Thursday seems to be the main heavy hitter for the week ahead. Friday, we do have Bank of Japan outlook report and monetary policy statement. Sorry, guys. And also German CPI and GDP for the euro. Lastly, but of course not least, we have core price index for the dollar and GDP for the CAD. Lastly, pending home sales for the dollar. Now, let's have a look at what I do have for you guys in terms of the outlook. Now, just a quick summary, a quick browse through what happened last week. Last week was quite a slow week in terms of the overall swing and price, of course, giving us a high low, or potentially giving us a high, or making a new low, or making a new high. It took its time to, of course, give us that main move. Now, the initial target was this imbalance area for the S&P. Of course, for price to come and fill the area for us to then catch that buy. If you guys are inside of our Discord, you would have had access to all of this information. Now, later on during the week, on Friday, we did actually finally see price come back and test key areas. And of course, price finally gave us that shift in market structure. We got the pullback. And as you can tell from my fib, those were my long entries for price to push up higher. Now, if I refer back to the daily, how we did, of course, close on the daily last week, these highs are pretty much going to get taken out next week. However, I am mainly looking for the highs over here at 38.07 for price to come and take that out. And now my main understanding is the weekly, we might actually want to come and close off completely this weekly imbalance, which is 38.35.8 for the S&P. Now, we could actually get prices dropping down and taking out the low again from, of course, filling this imbalance, but we've kind of got to take it as it comes. Now, when I do look at the daily picture, price does have other areas which are a lot higher, where price can definitely push up in order for us to then get another new leg to the downside, which of course I would not be surprised. Now, it does look like right now we will be bullish for the time being, just so that price can come back up higher and take out some sellers, which would be quite ideal, especially if you are looking for the shorts longer term. Now, I'm going to refer over to US30. Now, the picture for US30 does look slightly different, as we can see that US30 did, in fact, take out its daily high. If I pull back to the weekly, we are firmly sitting inside of this weekly LB candle. So, looking at things from the daily, I do expect these highs over here to get taken out, 31.304, push into this imbalance area, and then we can anticipate price potentially giving us some short moves to the downside. As we can see, the Dow is actually was getting closer, shall I say, to really nice areas where we can take some shorts. Let's get into those premium prices, where we can, of course, take shorts to the discount. Of course, the target will be these lows down here where price left behind. As you can see, the S&P did in fact take out that low before we started to push up, which is fine. You know, these pairs, they do move in tandem, but the picture doesn't have to be exactly the same. Okay, so yeah, looking for price to take out this area. We can start to look inside this imbalance area, maybe potentially to this up candle or these three pushes to the upside before we get the sell. However, that is the target. Want to see these highs get taken out first, then we can anticipate price potentially giving us a short. Now, with the NAS 100, it does look a little bit more similar to the S&P more than the Dow does, and that's perfectly a-okay. Still looking for the exact same move, take out these highs here on the daily, and then we can potentially look to take some shorts. The weekly imbalance is at the low of this weekly candle, which is 11704.75. So if we can push above there, maybe potentially come into this weekly LB candle, then we can potentially look for some shorts. But as of now, you know, the push up, the longs have been, you know, quite good. We have been waiting for it all week long last week, and we finally got it. So yeah, looking forward to the week ahead, especially with all those economic events planned. Now, if I take your attention over to USDJPY, just to talk to you guys, we do have a lot of yen news this week. The dollar fell off, and UJ definitely showed us quite the move. Now, of course, if you look at the volume to the left, you know, we did have sort of a gradual push up, right? And just notice price just absolutely hitting the deck, you know, for well over almost 500 points, more than 500 points, actually. Yeah, almost 550 points. Now, you know, this does lead me to talk about the dollar and, of course, you know, what exactly happened from a technical perspective. Now, when we do look at the dollar, okay, we did actually see the dollar push above these highs here, ever so slightly, okay, with the last close last Friday. We saw the market push above the highs, and of course, we did react with the market coming down. Should be a little bit clearer when I move to the 5-minute. Okay, as you can see there, market started to push down lower. Now, realistically, I would not be surprised if I still see the dollar, if we all see the dollar keep coming down lower. You know, I will not be surprised if we take out these lows all the way down here before we potentially start to rally up higher again. You know, I don't really see any real reason why the dollar would stop losing strength. We have been on quite a rampage as of lately, and that's a-okay. So if we can come down and take out the low at 110.055, especially when I refer back to the weekly, we may just come back and tap this weekly LB before we push up even higher. Now, the last pair that I am going to talk about with you guys is going to be on the pound. The pound did actually give us a bit of a push up, okay, before giving us that push down, of course, on the Friday, and of course, price pushing up. Now, the pound is quite similar to the indexes, just in terms of price taking out some daily highs. The weekly, prior to Friday, did look set to potentially come and attack these lows, but it does look like we may want to push up a little bit higher. Now, the area that I do have, can see by my imbalance box there, okay, is price coming out to take out this high here, which is 1.15897. If price can come and take out the liquidity resting above all of these highs, I'll feel a little bit more confident in taking the short inside of this level here. So if we can actually see price push up higher into these areas, see a break of market structure, a shift of structure on the lower time frame, then I would feel a little bit more confident in taking the short. So yeah, you know, especially with everything that's happening inside of England, with Liz Truss resigning, I don't really see why we'll continue to see pound strength for the long term. So yeah, right now the market is kind of reacting mainly off of the weakness of the dollar, and that's why we're seeing some short-term rallies. You know, I do believe there will be short-term rallies. So yeah, before the dollar, of course, takes back its control. But yeah, other than that, guys, that is all from me. Make sure, of course, to like this video if you found it helpful. And yeah, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And remember, every day is money day. Peace.